Pando clone, the world's largest organism, is dying out. The world's single largest living organism could be in danger of dying out. The Pando aspen clone located in Fishlake National Forest in Utah is a massive grove of 47,000 genetically identical stems growing from a single underground root system of a quaking aspen tree that covers an area of 107 acres. A new study published on Wednesday in PLOS One by Utah State University researchers Paul Rogers and Darren McAvoy have found that the Pando is in danger of collapse. According to Forbes, aspens have the ability to produce clones through offshoots from their root system and are able to colonize large areas of land through the root system. The scientists found that a combination of grazing animals like mule deer and cattle and human encroachment have led to the Pando collapse. Researchers also found that fencing was effective at protecting the Pando. In order for the Pando to survive long-term, Rogers told the New York Times that more thorough fencing would be required, along with culling some deer and making sure cattle don't graze in the grove. Don't grow anywhere. Flashes of light reveal how plants signal danger. Researchers have found that plants communicate distress by using their own signaling system. University of Wisconsin-Madison professor of botany Simon Gilroy and his lab have revealed how glutamate activates a wave of calcium that spreads across leaves to warn of danger. Scientists already knew that wounding a plant triggers a defense response, and that if you wound a leaf, you get an electrical charge, as well as a propagation that moves across plants. Gilroy and his team wanted to know what triggered the charge and how it moved through the plant. Calcium was one possibility, but the researchers needed to be able to see calcium in real time, so special plants were developed to produce a protein that only fluoresces around calcium. The team then subjected the plants to caterpillar bites, scissor cuts, and crushing wounds, and used video to track the responses. In response to each type of distress, videos show the plants lighted up as calcium spreads from the site to damage other leaves. The scientists were then able to pinpoint glutamate as the trigger that sent out the waves of calcium.
Brazil agrees to let people dig in the Amazon. The Brazilian government has opened up a massive chunk of the rainforest for mining purposes. Brazil has removed the protective status of the National Reserve of Copper and Associates, which straddles two northern Brazilian states. The area is 46,000 square kilometers large and is believed to be rich in gold, copper, iron, and other minerals. The government opened up 30% of the reserve and said that mining would only be permitted in areas with no conservation controls or indigenous lands. According to estimates, approximately 1 acre is destroyed every second in the Amazon, and around 20% of the rainforest has been destroyed over the past 40 years. Brazil has said it plans to open up 10% of all protected rainforest areas to mining in an attempt to stimulate growth. Drones sow the seeds for a greener future. Scientists in India plan to turn a difficult-to-reach area near Bangalore into a lush green forest by dropping seeds from drones into the soil. The first drone seed bombing experiment took place on June 5th to mark World Environment Day. Researchers from the Indian Institute of Science in Bangalore will drop seed bombs on an arid hill range north of the city. They plan to cover 10,000 acres, an area equivalent to more than 5,500 soccer fields. Seeds from native species, such as tamarind, will be wrapped in balls of manure and soil before being dropped from the sky. Drones equipped with cameras will be used to geotag the area and monitor the progress of the project. Around a dozen native tree species have been chosen for the project, which scientists hope will help a forest flourish and encourage wildlife to return to the area. According to scientists, goats that graze on saplings, the dry climate, and climate change are some of the biggest challenges to the project.
Largest ever reforestation planned in the Amazon. A project in the Amazon rainforest is aimed at using a new technique to plant trees in the largest ever tropical reforestation. Conservation International plans to restore 70,000 acres of land cleared for grazing with 73 million trees in the Brazilian Amazon. The trees will be planted in the arc of deforestation that stretches across the Brazilian states of Amazonas, Acre, Pará, and Rondônia, as well as the Xingu watershed. The planting method is called muvuca, which is Portuguese for a small place with many people. It involves spreading hundreds of native tree seeds of various species over deforested land. Plant-by-plant reforestation techniques usually have a density of 160 plants per hectare, while with Mavuka, density is 2,500 species per hectare. Scientists believe after 10 years, it could reach 5,000 trees per hectare. Hopefully, these new trees and America's willingness to practice sustainability can help slow down global warming. Yeah, right. We're screwed.
Green tech vertical farms are coming to North Texas. A next-generation farming company is planning to be the first to offer vertically grown local produce on a large scale. Forbes reports Eden Green aims to grow produce in vertical lines in a greenhouse to supply different large-chain grocery stores. Conventional soil-based farms have an average of 2 harvests a year, while Eden Green expects to have around 10 to 15 harvests a year. Their first produce line, Crisply, will include vegetables such as lettuce, stevia plants, and other greens. Each plant will be enclosed in a soil-free microclimate bubble, free of chemicals, pesticides, and herbicides. The company has come up with a technology to enable the plants to feed on a steady flow of nutrient-filled water and natural sunlight instead of LED lights. Eden Green Technology says the produce is picked and packaged on the same day, unlike traditional retailers where the process can take up to 9 days. For now, the vertically grown produce can be found at Walmarts across Texas starting this month.
Chocolate is about to say goodbye to the world. If you're a fan of chocolate, you better start hoarding it now because it may be joining the dinosaurs in just a few decades. Scientists say chocolate is in danger of disappearing by 2050 due to warmer and drier conditions from global warming. Cacao can only be grown within a narrow strip of rainforested land about 20 degrees north and south of the equator, where the temperature, rain, and humidity are relatively constant year-round. Over half of the world's chocolate comes from 2 African countries, Côte d'Ivoire and Ghana. However, rising temperatures over the next decades will make those regions unsuitable for cacao. Researchers from the University of California are now working with the Mars Company to save the cacao plant from disappearing. Berkeley scientists hope to modify cacao DNA using CRISPR technology to develop plants that won't wilt or rot at their current elevations under warmer conditions. No, but really, life without chocolate?